It happens every day in workplaces throughout the world. Although the causes of fire vary from situation to situation, most fires share a common factor. They start out small, but if a fire is discovered soon enough, it can be extinguished before it gets out of control with a portable fire extinguisher. Portable fire extinguishers are a common sight in the workplace and are also standard equipment on fire engines and emergency vehicles. They're considered the first line of defense when a fire occurs. Yet to the untrained person, extinguishers may provide a false and potentially dangerous sense of security. Make no mistake, portable fire extinguishers are effective firefighting tools, but only if they're used properly and on the types of fires they've been designed for. Portable fire extinguishers come in a variety of sizes. Some weigh only 2.5 pounds. Others can weigh several hundred pounds. Yet the effectiveness of an extinguisher isn't just determined by its size. It's also determined by the training and knowledge of the person using it. There are several types of portable fire extinguishers. Each is designed to fight a specific class of fire and may not be effective on other types of fires. So, proper selection and placement of extinguishers is important. Some fires may not be easy to extinguish. Fighting large fires or fires in complex situations may require the use of protective clothing or specialized firefighting techniques. Before you attempt to extinguish the fire, it's important for you to know what type of fire you're dealing with, how to operate the extinguisher, and how to correctly put out the fire. Fire is a chemical chain reaction between fuel, heat, and oxygen. This relationship is known as the fire tetrahedron. If you interrupt the chemical chain reaction or take away any of the other three elements, you will put out the fire. This is what an extinguisher does. Fire can develop with any number of different fuels, and extinguishers for one type of fuel aren't always effective on other fuels. Fire is divided into 4 classifications, and extinguishers are available for each one. Class A fires involve wood, cloth, paper, rubber, and plastics. Water is often used to cool the fuel and extinguish the fire. Class B fires involve flammable or combustible liquids, gases, or grease. These fires require extinguishers like carbon dioxide, foam, dry chemical, or halon, which deprive the fire of oxygen or interfere with the chemical chain reaction. Class C fires involve energized electrical equipment that may present a shock hazard to someone attempting to extinguish the fire. Class D fires involve combustible metals such as magnesium or lithium. These fires require a dry powder which smothers the fire and doesn't react with the burning metal. Extinguishers suitable for these different fires are categorized in the same manner as the class of fire they work on. To help identify the proper extinguisher, 2 types of symbols have been developed. One set uses a letter and shape for each of the 4 classes of fire. The other set displays pictures which identify both the fires the extinguisher can be used on and the fires it cannot be used on. All extinguishers should use one or the other of these classification systems. While certain extinguishers, like these multi-purpose dry chemical extinguishers, can be used on A, B, and C fires, no extinguisher is effective on all 4 classes of fire. In fact, extinguishers designed for one class of fire may be extremely dangerous when used on another class. For example, a water extinguisher is not recommended for use on a Class B or flammable liquid fire because it may spread the fire. Portable extinguishers use a variety of extinguishing agents: water, foam, carbon dioxide, halogenated agents, dry chemical, and dry powder. Pressurized water extinguishers are commonly found in office areas and are very effective on small fires involving ordinary combustible materials. A water extinguisher weighs about 25 pounds, so it may be necessary to place it on the ground. To operate this unit, pull the safety pin, breaking the seal. Now, hold the hose in one hand, aim it at the fire, and squeeze the handle. Water extinguishers may reach 30 to 40 feet away when first discharged. This allows you greater safety in approaching the fire. Aim the stream of water at the base of the fire and apply the water from side to side in a sweeping motion. As the water pressure drops off, you may need to move closer to the fire. Do so only if your initial efforts have been successful in slowing the fire. The pressurized stream may scatter the flaming debris. To avoid this, as you get closer, use your fingertip to change the water stream to a spray. Water extinguishes a fire by absorbing the heat, so it's important to make sure all the fuel is thoroughly soaked. Separate the fuel and continue soaking it. The extinguisher will empty in about 1 minute if used continuously. Another water-based unit is the foam extinguisher, commonly known as AFFF, or aqueous film-forming foam. Foam is designed to extinguish Class B flammable liquid fires, but can also be effective on Class A fires. There are two types of AFFF extinguishers. These units look like pressurized water extinguishers. The major difference is the aspirating nozzle, which injects air into the foam. One contains a pre-mixed foam solution. The other contains only water, which passes through a foam cartridge when the extinguisher is discharged. The foam creates a blanket which smothers the fuel. To operate these extinguishers, pull the pin, aim the nozzle, and squeeze the handle. AFFF extinguishers empty in about 1 minute. They're most effective at a range of 10 to 20 feet. Depending on the size of the fire, it may be necessary to start at the maximum range and then work your way in. There are several techniques for using an AFFF extinguisher on flammable liquids. For spills, splash the foam directly in front of the fire. If the fire is in an open container, play the discharge against the inside back wall of the container. This spreads the foam back over the fire. The foam acts as a barrier to exclude oxygen from the fire and prevent vaporization of the fuel. If you are unable to play the foam off the back wall, you can spray the foam directly into the liquid. It's important, however, to momentarily divert the stream so that the foam blanket can seal itself and completely cover the liquid. Another method for open container fires is to stand back and lob the foam so it falls over the fire. AFFF extinguishers are also used to prevent fires on flammable liquid spills. The foam blocks the release of vapors, preventing ignition. The next type of extinguisher uses carbon dioxide, or CO2, which is intended for Class B and C fires. The CO2 stops combustion by displacing oxygen in the air surrounding a fire. CO2 extinguishers come in two types. Smaller models have an attached horn, and larger units have detachable handheld horns. To operate the smaller unit, pull the release pin, raise the horn, aim, and squeeze the handle. CO2 should be applied as close to the base of the fire as possible. To operate the larger model, remove the pin, hold the horn by its hand grip, aim at the fire, and squeeze the handle. It's very important to remember not to grab the horn while operating these extinguishers. CO2 extinguishers emit a frigid gas, so the horn gets very cold. For fires involving electrical equipment, aim the discharge directly at the flames. Continue discharging the extinguisher to assure the fire is out and to prevent the fire from reigniting. De-energize the equipment as soon as possible to eliminate the electrical hazard. CO2 extinguishers have a limited range and are